On a recent Midwest road trip, I could not pass up the opportunity to stop at Cahokia. My passion for the pre-Columbian and, well, really any culture pre-Christian is relatively well known.
This is just our luck because unfortunately there is a lot of stuff inside there. Lots of artifacts. There's the Birdman with all the shells, and the cryptozoology folks who, I'm not deriding you. You want to believe the giants built these, that's fine. They've got these axe heads that are so monstrous they look like only a giant could have wielded them, and unfortunately we don't get to see any of that, so we're going to take you on a tour. It's actually a very extensive park. Don't think we're going to do the 10-mile loop because it's really hot, but we're going to have a look-see, even though there's thunder rumbling.
Allow me to apologize in advance. Much cynicism will follow. There is a stark difference between how the United States handles their pre-Columbian UNESCO World Heritage Sites and how the rest of the Americas handles their sites.
And I'm actually going to say that since we don't get to see any of the artifacts, I have to show you the drawings of the artifacts for the mounds. I'm going to do my best to not be callous and sarcastic about this.
Too late.
Yeah, but pretty much too late, because you're talking about a civilization that we even have it. The Cahokia is a placeholder. It's not the right name. These people who built this city, the mounds, they disappeared before the colonizers even thought about coming here. So this is an old city, and much like the other old cities we've been to, I should say, unlike the other old cities we've been to, the United States just gives zero fucks about maintaining things. I love the sites that we know nothing about and acknowledge our ignorance. It's sort of where I excel. The thing with this is, when we acknowledge our ignorance, what do, children? We then learn. We excavate more. We find more. We learn more. I should just be happy that this hasn't been completely bulldozed. And for those of you that don't know, that is actually what happened to one of the second largest mound. The people who own the property were concerned that the state was going to go for eminent domain. So instead, and they wanted too high of a price for their farm. So instead of selling it at a reasonable price, they bulldozed one of these ancient structures. Just boom, bulldozed it on down. Because you don't want to do eminent domain if it's no longer there now, do you? Artist renderings of what Grand Plaza would have looked like. All the people going about their lives. And here it is now. It's going to give you a 360-degree view of what would be the Grand Plaza. So imagine if we can go back in time to, 1,000 years, even, yeah, give or take 1,000 years. What this civilization would have been like. This would have been the primary courtyard. This is your downtown, your main street. Now I was prepped to be underwhelmed, not completely disappointed. Right now, I'm very disappointed. And unfortunately, there's a measure. You can't point to one person or one entity. There's not a dyadic relationship here where we can say it's their fault that it's like this. This is a cultural thing. And it's just unctuous to see something this ancient, this old, to have so little available and so little reverence paid to it. It's you know, I don't want to say what it is, though. I don't want to be insulting. I really don't. I'm happy that it's here, but my goodness.
Kind of prepared ourselves for this.
Yeah, we're not surprised. Just underwhelmed.
Yeah.
Underwhelmed.
Yep. Like we said, it'll probably be a golf course soon.
Yeah.
All this prime land. Got great grass. I know grasses.
I think this is an actual poignant shot. Walking along the road instead of the trail. The road that cuts through a UNESCO heritage site. And they will argue that it only exists as a heritage site because they cut through it with the road because of the funding. The thing is, it wasn't acknowledged for what it should have been acknowledged for when it was first discovered or known about, because we viewed the natives as savage nomads who didn't settle in one place. And we were using that to justify our relocation of them to the reservations, because they weren't architects, they couldn't build something like this. So it flew in the face of the narrative and they just ignored it. So now you have a road running through it. Try to gradually, slowly take you into the main mound from across the courtyard. Thunderstorm behind us. We're sitting on top of the Great Mound at Cahokia. I'm not going to call it the name they gave it because, again, the white people have done enough. We don't even need to call it they call it Monk's Mound because of the French monks that used to farm and live on here. So I think we could at least call it the Great Mound out of courtesy. If you come here, do this first. Even if the museum is open, do this first, because the grandiosity of the landscape and the immense size will help temper any cynicism you have. We walked through the other parts first and did this last, so the cynicism had a chance to simmer. But once you get up top here, it's like a weight off your shoulders. You have to do this first.
I am well aware that games are played with funding all around the world. But if you are to close a museum and interpretive center for renovation, it should be done so in the winter and not the summer when the foot traffic is at its height.
I'm calling it the Great Mound.